français, por favor, s'il vous plaît. 233. 233 en français. Oh, flambeau, je t'aime Isabelle. Oh, flambeau, pour personne. C'est Jésus, mon jour, le Fils aimé, Maria, belle, avec la mer éternelle, avec l'enfant saison. Bring la torche de Mère Isabelle, bring la torche and bring me run. Christ is Lord before the village, Christ is Lord, and Mary's calling out. Beautiful is the mother, beautiful is the child. And at last it came upon midnight clear, which is in about 5 hours. It's coming, 2:44. And this one, we're going to sing verse 1 and verse 4. Verse 4. God bless you all, so that's really good. Merry Christmas and welcome.
Good evening, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Welcome to Bellingham Unitarian Fellowship. I'm Reverend Paul Beckel. Welcome to those of you who are on Zoom, and welcome to those of you who are here in person. We're going to be doing candlelight tonight, and I am glad to be doing this together with my colleague, Reverend Barbara Ten Hove, and of course with Kevin Allen Schmidt and Andrea Rackel and the big Christmas choir. So we're going to have some candlelight and some darkness tonight, and so I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that that is coming up. And before we go too much further, I want to make sure to have you turn off your cell phones so that the only ringing that we will have tonight is Christmas bells.
And it's wonderful to see you all pulling out your phones. Let's turn them off, shall we? Unless you absolutely have a reason that they have to stay on, let's just turn them off. It's Christmas Eve. Why not? So, as Paul mentioned, that we are going to be having candlelight, which is great, but it also, it will be very dark when the lights go out. So just be prepared for that. And if you have lights upon your person, you may wish to turn them off too. And though most of the music we will sing will be sung in the light, we will sing Silent Night in the Darkness, and we'll only sing the first verse a few times. So if you forget or don't know the words, humming is always acceptable. And now we are going to practice in the light what we will do later in the darkness, lighting our candles. So talk to your neighbor for just a minute and decide who has a lit candle and who has an unlit candle. So just imagine at the moment, pick somebody. Okay, that's enough. So here's how it works. Here's how it works. In order to keep wax off the floor, the unlit candle bows to the light. So if you have a lit candle, do not bend your candle. Hold yours straight up. And the unlit candle bows to the light. Ta-da! Ta-da! So take a minute and practice that. Imagine you have a lit candle. Practice. Okay? All right, well done, well done. Now, we're also aware that tonight is a crowded service, so if you are sitting where there is a seat next to you, raise your hand so people who might need a seat can find one, and unless you have a reason to be on the aisle, and I get that there are some people who have a reason to be on the aisle, but if you don't have a reason, please move into the middle so people coming in now will be able to find a seat. All right, and now let us continue moving into worship by listening to Kevin and Andrea play a lovely 2-piano version of Jesu, Joy of Man's Desire. And as wonderful as the music is, I invite you to hold your applause tonight. Let's twinkle instead.
Let's move into the spirit of worship now with words adapted by David Reese-Williams.
With our voices and with our hearts and with our spirits, we have come here to be reminded of the mystery and beauty that this season brings.
Blessed are they who have vision enough to behold a guiding star in the dark mystery which girdles the earth.
Blessed are they who have imagination enough to detect the music of celestial voices in the midnight hours of life.
Blessed are they who have faith enough to contemplate a world of peace and justice in the midst of present wrongs and strife.
Blessed are they who have zest enough to take delight in simple things.
Blessed are they who have wisdom enough to know that heaven is very close at hand, and that all may enter in who have eyes to see, and ears to hear, and hearts to understand.
And let us sing together a wonderful old hymn, O Come All Ye Faithful. And the way this is in our hymnal is we sing the first verse in Latin, and then we always sing the chorus in Latin. And so the words in Latin are Adeste fideles, laetum triumphantes, venite, venite in Bethlehem, natum vedete, regum angelorum. I'm sure you got all that. But the chorus, venite adoremus, you say that again. Venite adoremus, you say it again. Venite adoremus Dominum. You can do it, I have confidence. Let's rise in body or spirit and sing together. Oh, come on, faithful. Oh, 253. Thank you. Sorry, 253.
Amen.
faith, our unique faith. This ritual feels specifically significant at this time of year when we are traveling through the longest, darkest nights. As Paul kindles the flame in our chalice, may we also spark a flame in our hearts and remember that the light we create when we gather in a spirit of love blesses us all. May we ignite hope and meaning from the familiar songs and stories we share tonight. And may we be fully present in this very room to the gift of this time together. And I invite the choir forward as we sing in this very room.
Power
Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he, that king, born of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him." When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where this Christ should be born. And they said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet." Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men, inquired of them what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the young child. And when you have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also." When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they had seen in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And let's sing of that story now with hymn number 259 in the gray hymnals, "We Three Kings," number 259.
Please rise in body or spirit.
Oh
Every Christmas Eve, we take up a collection for the Interfaith Coalition, a local organization empowering families to get out of homelessness and into housing and to stay there. The Interfaith Coalition, supported by dozens of congregations throughout Whatcom County, serves families without regard to religion, race, age, disability, gender identity, or sexual orientation, with a simple principle that all people have dignity and need to be treated with respect, and so all people deserve to live in a safe home. The Interfaith Coalition has several small properties of its own, providing shelter for families who are often on waiting lists for permanent housing elsewhere. They collaborate with other local agencies to provide comprehensive support to families experiencing violence, hunger, or health, or legal concerns. And they coordinate volunteers from diverse congregations working together, providing both hands-on and financial support. As the ushers come around tonight, please give generously. Show your faith in this great endeavor. This is a reading called The Camels Speak by Lynn Ungar. Of course, they never consulted us. They were wise men, kings, star readers, and we merely transportation. They simply loaded us with gifts and turned us toward the star. I ask you, what would a king know of choosing presents for a child? Have they ever seen a baby born to such simple folks, so naked of pretension, so open to the wind? What would such a child care for perfumes and gold? Far better to have asked one born in the desert, tested by wind and sand. We saw what he would need, the gift of perseverance, of continuing on the hard way, making do with what there is, living on what you have inside. The gift of holding up under a burden, of lifting another with grace, kneeling to accept the weight of what you must bear. Our footsteps could have rocked him with the rhythms of the road, showing him comfort in a harsh land, the dignity of continually moving forward. But the wise men were not wise enough to ask. They simply left with their trinkets and admired the rustic view. Before you knew it, we were turned again toward home, carrying men only half willing to be amazed. But never mind. We saw the baby, felt him reach for the bright tassels of our gear. We desert amblers have our ways of seeing what you chatterers may miss. That a child at heart knows something about following a star. Our gifts are given, have no doubt. His life will be and bear the print of what we are. And now let's sing together hymn number 243 in the gray hymnal, 243, Jesus Our Brother. Please stand.
Jesus, our brother, kind and good, was humbly born in a stable rude, and the friendly peace around him stood. Jesus, our brother, kind and good. I said the donkey, shaggy and brown, I carried his I carried her safe to Bethlehem town. I said the donkey, shaggy and brown. I said the cow, all white and red. I gave him my manger for his bed. I gave him hay to pillow his head. I said the cow, all white and red. I said the sheep with curly horn. I gave him my robe for his ragged form. He wore my coat on his
And here is another take on the story of the wise ones. This is a poem called "The Queens Came Late" by Norma Farber. The queens came late, but the queens were there, with gifts in their hands and crowns in their hair. They'd come, these three, like the kings from afar, following, yes, that guiding star. They'd left their ladles, linens, looms, their children playing in nursery rooms, and told their sitters, "Take charge, for this is a marvelous sight we must not miss." The queens came late, but not too late, to see the animals, small and great, feathered and furred, domestic and wild, gathered to gaze at a mother and child. And rather than frankincense and myrrh and gold for the babe, they brought for her who held him a homespun gown of blue and chicken soup, with noodles too, and a lingering, lasting cradle song. The queens came late and stayed not long, for their thoughts already were straining far past manger and mother and guiding star, and a child aglow as a morning sun toward home and children and chores undone. And now let us sing a more modern Christmas carol, number 238, "Within the Shining of a Star." Within the shining of a star. Please stand in body or spirit. Within the shining of a star, we catch a glimpse of who we are. In every infant born, we see the hope of our nativity. How powerfully true are the words to this carol that we just sang. How much we long to glimpse and then sustain a world for our children that is healthy and beautiful and hopeful. But no one can say how our lives or the lives of our children will unfold. Life is always a mystery, but one we must come to terms with if we are to live fully. I find this to be one of the annual conundrums of Christmas. Each year we celebrate anew the birth of Jesus, a holy man, a great teacher, a wise fool. We pay homage to an ancient story that speaks of wonders at the birth of a child. Angels appear, shepherds quake, and three kings take a long journey to follow the star. All for the birth of a child in a stable. An illegitimate boy, no less, with no father but God. This great story tugs at the heart for many reasons, but I find that I am always moved by it because of what I know happens at the end of the story. For this wonderful child we honor each year died at the hands of other humans, killed for, among other things, his radical belief in God's love for all humanity. One can argue that Jesus' life unfolded in a very bad way. And yet we still celebrate his birth, just as we celebrate the birth of children everywhere. Humans, I think, are hardwired to find joy in new birth. We can't help but see in the face of a child hope and promise. It's why I admire you parents so much. When you bring a child into this world, into your family, you have to have enormous faith in the future. You have to believe that the world will welcome this new life. And I think that most parents want to give their children a world that is good, full of wonder and hope. But no matter how much we want that, it's really impossible, isn't it? The world unfolds around us, and even as much as we'd like to think it, we are not in charge. Bad things happen, even to children. War and poverty still plague our world as they did in Jesus' day. Hatred and greed run rampant everywhere. People still kill each other in the name of God. Each year, when the darkest night of the year comes around and Christmas shines its bright light on our world, I wonder anew if we'll ever get it right. Will we create peace on earth? Will we bring hope to the hopeless? Will we ever give our children the world they deserve? And each year I answer that question in the same way. We do what we can. We do what we must. We journey like the wise ones toward the star of peace and justice, even though the path is long and the way unclear. We take a stand for love and harmony, even though the tune is faint and our voices are hoarse. We offer our children the best we can, knowing that it's not enough, it's never enough, but it's what we have, and it will have to do. Now, this Christmas, I admit to feeling a great sadness. There is illness in my community, struggle in my nation, war in my world. I admit that the world of wonder and all that is good feels more elusive than ever. Yet even in the midst of this great sense of loss, I remember that child in the manger and I find hope. A little hope. Jesus made an enormous difference in our world. And I know that we're not Jesus. I know that. But if he could make a difference, so can we. Yes, we don't know how things are going to unfold. We can't control the world. But we can make a commitment to do our part to bless the world. We can speak out for justice. We can be kind to a stranger. We can make our little corner of this planet a better place for our children and their children. Our faith teaches us that every child, not just the famous one born in Bethlehem, but every child is a child of God. Our faith teaches us that every one of us has the potential to change the world for the better. Our faith teaches us that just because we don't know how life will unfold doesn't mean that we shouldn't do all we can to make a difference, to bless the world. So on this dark night of extraordinary beauty, let us trust in the unfolding of life, even as we recognize that it must always be a mystery. And let us strive to give our children the world they deserve, the world we all dream of and hope for and work toward, a world of peace and justice and love. May it be so. Someday. 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 Amen. And let us sing a beautiful and haunting carol, hymn number 241, In the Bleak Midwinter. Please rise and body your spirit as we sing it together. Number 241.
It is Christmas, a season of joy and love, but it is also the darkest time of the year. And it is in this dark time that we celebrate light, even as we remember the darkness.
In darkness, we light candles of hope to remind ourselves that love exists, that hope abides.
In the darkness, we light candles to help us see the dark a little bit better, just as the stars at night make the darkness glimmer.
On Christmas Eve, we remember the darkness of winter, of animal stable, of the womb.
On Christmas Eve, we remember the light, the flicker of a star, the flame of new birth, the light of hope come to our world.
So tonight, let us enter the darkness for a moment, feel the darkness all around us, and listen to its rhythm. Into the darkness, we bring our light. We light this candle for joy. May it shine for all who find delight, even in the midst of challenge and struggle. Into the darkness, we bring our light.
We light this candle for peace. May it shine for all who understand that for peace to come, we must work for justice.
Into the darkness, we bring our light. We light this candle for love. May it shine for all who give freely of themselves to others, caring and sharing from their hearts. Into the darkness, we bring our light.
We light this candle for hope. May it shine for all who have faith that we truly can build a better world for all people everywhere.
Now let the darkness surround us, and let us listen to its music. The darkness is powerful, but so is the light we can bring. A candle is a small thing, but when one light touches another, the flame increases. The power of it grows.
You are such a light. You have the power to brighten the darkness. When the birth of a light in you is passed to others, when one heart kindles another.
Our hearts are aflame with the beauty of this cold winter's night. With only the light of our candles to guide us, let us recall the ancient story of Jesus' birth by singing together that most beautiful of all carols, Silent Night.
Holy night,
your light. And one more time. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. From your virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in These words by Howard Thurman end our service.
When the song of the angels is stilled,
When the star in the sky is gone,
when the kings and the shepherds are back with their flocks,
the work of Christmas begins.
to find the lost,
To heal the broken,
to release the prisoner,
to rebuild the nations,
to bring peace among all peoples.
and to make music in the heart.
As we go forth on this splendid night, take one last look around at these beautiful candles and these beautiful people, and trust that the light we have lit tonight will continue to shine in our hearts. As we sing together carol number 237 in the hymnal, the first Noel, I invite you to believe in the magic of Christmas and be full of joy, even as we must return from this, this room to bright light once again. First Noel. Let's stand and sing. Let's stand and sing.